One for the gimp. I guess that was two. Grindel's not always sure what he's doing. You should actually see him try to give the finger, because I'm never quite sure what he's going to throw up. The Dadaist version, giving the finger. Anyways, very quick introduction this week. There's not too much going on. You know, we're still with Chico and Al Ghul, and they're hanging out with who knows. That's the normal thing. Yeah, so my stuffed animals are smoking left-handed cigarettes, and that's about it. I did make a mistake last week when I said my favorite pencils were Ticonderoga. They're actually Blackwings. I think, and I say this later on, I just made the mistake because Ticonderogas are the default when you're going through school. Everyone knows that, but Blackwings, chef's kiss. Kissing a butthole, yes. I love those. But you will notice I get photobombed not once, but twice, and decided to slow that down just because they're way more photogenic than I am. There's really no other way to say that. So, yeah, quick intro this week. I'm plotting like mad to bring a certain character in on Halloween, which makes me very happy, but Halloween always makes me happy. So anyways, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this once again. I need to quit slapping my leg, don't I? I love you. Take care. See you next week. Now, and welcome back to another exciting edition. I've used idiot sweat pens too many times, so we'll have to figure something else out, I guess. It'll come to us. But anyways, once again, starting off with the masking fluid. Went back to the PBO as you'll see. I don't know, I get bored. Decide to try different things out. It's what happens when you're bare of limited intelligence. You don't stick to any one thing. You'll make a pronouncement, then change it. And life is good that way. And actually, this week was relatively easy. When you just have those two little idiots sitting there looking at a UFO. Not that hard to pull off. And this week I did use the pencils that I normally like to use, which I talked about last week. Last week I inadvertently called them the Ticonderoga, probably because I remember those little yellow ones from being a kid. I think we all use those. I prefer the Blackwings, so once again, bare of limited intelligence, it's the Blackwings. And here we go, one more time, my love of watercolors falling down the page. And I really pushed hard against the supergranulating colors this week. I really wanted to see how far they could go. I may have to do a series of just these two little stoners looking at a UFO just so I can see how absolutely far I can go with these things. But I'm enjoying the process so far. And of course, this week I could not find my glue residue eraser, so I just used my hands. And you can see I spilled ink on the bed sheets. It's not just because of these lovely little creatures that we keep a sheet on the bed. It wasn't until I was editing this that I noticed she had photobombed the shot, so I figured that I would slow it down. I don't know. Have a left-handed cigarette. Everybody should have pigeons in their house. Except that they are rather loud when they get into that part of the month where it's all cooing. You will see that a little bit later on. Because Hayward's not the only one that's going to photobomb these proceedings. But yeah, it did crack me up when I was reviewing the footage, and I was like, where'd you come from? I totally missed it at the time. This is why we get crossfaded before we paint children. And you can actually see there on her leg, she still has her bling on because she was rescued off the streets of Hayward, California. She's a retired racer, or, a racing pigeon that got lost, and they found her with a messed up wing in Hayward, California. That's why she has the name that she does. And she is about to exit stage, what do they call that? Stage back? I think I'd never been on stage before. Told you, I'm a bear of limited intelligence. And here we go. Back to supernumerator speed. And you can tell that I really like the watercolor confection set. I mean, for a cheap little set, man, it packs a punch. And here comes the other one. Yep, you can tell he's the male just by the dance that he's doing. But look at those legs. I mean, Bowie would be proud of those games. Yeah. And of course, he's attacking Al Ghul. But you didn't get the full 70s love hum going on there. I don't know why. Normally, anything he finds face down on the ground like that, yeah, it's time for the shaggin' wagon. And here they come again. This is something that they do all day, continuously, except for when it's dove nap time, in which case, they'll be in their nest box, and then they look at you like you're the asshole for waking them up, instead of the way that it normally goes, where they wake you up. And I like here how you can see how those super granulating colors came in, and I don't know, I just love building up watercolors and layers. I like the unexpected turns of event that they can take. Yeah, because with each successive layer, as long as you remember how to shade a sphere or a cube, all that stuff. If you don't, you should buy Alfonso Dunn's book or watch his YouTube channel. It will cover all that for you. Then you can work from imagination, even though you'll notice I do have my stuffed animals out in case I need to refer to something. Like I said, bear of limited intelligence. And like an idiot, I somehow lost the footage of when I was doing the bold lettering. But doesn't really matter. I think you get the general idea. If not, go back to previous videos, you'll see it. They're in there all the time. I'm never quite sure whether I didn't bother to hit record or it just lost the footage. Both have happened. And on this one, I changed up the design of the UFO just a touch. I've been referring to all my favorite 1950s sci-fi movies to look at their different saucer designs. So as long as we're doing UFO week, we will be seeing different UFO designs. Maybe I'll even see if I can find an old pie plate to do that thing with it. Where did you get the inspiration for that? A pie plate. I guess if you have a bat and a monkey talking about smoking weed, you're allowed to have a pipe plate. They'll check your credentials for that. And it's always hard to resist that urge to add more detail, but I kind of like just the outline, like the old 1010 books. I still love those things. Anyways, love you all. See you next week. Take care. Bye.